You're on.
Okay. Hello, my name is Sue Ann McCullough, and I'm at CC Livermore, and my director is making me do this. Last year was my very first year at CC, and I got pulled in to do tin whistle for a tutor who had an ear problem. So I was kind of thrust into developing how I was going to teach something that I had never done before in my life, which is kind of the whole thing of classical conversations, that we can learn anything. My director gave me the best advice to say that the Foundations Guide is all you need. Stick to the Foundations Guide. It has everything you need. I spent a lot of time with it, and that jump-started me. I did look up some videos of different things from 100 Acre Wood and this other wonderful musician lady. So if you see anything here that looks familiar, that's why. It's just like an amalgam of a bunch of brilliant people with a few little ideas of my own. I took the Foundations Guide and literally put it on my copy machine, enlarged it, because I'm wearing reading glasses now. I enlarged it, and then I actually cut and pasted, and I created this. And it is a very raw lesson plan. Just bullet points, and I highlighted what I wanted to use. This allowed me to manipulate the pieces in the Foundations Guide, because I didn't want to do it exactly their flow, or say exactly what they wanted me to say when they wanted me to say it. So I made my own flow. So I'm just going to kind of walk you through week 7, the first week of Tin Whistle, how I did it to a classroom of 8-year-old boys, and we had a lot of fun. I use a tray method, and on this tray I layer all of my visual aids in order of use, and how I set that up is by my outline. So I come in, and first thing I always do with a group of boys is we stretch and we take some deep breaths. I like sitting in a circle on the floor. In front of them, I have them place their tin whistle, and I inform them immediately that they are in a sleeping position, that they are silent and they are still. If they move those tin whistles, then they lose those tin whistles, and then they can practice on a pencil. I introduce my tin whistle as my friend, and I tell them that I have a picture of my friend. Now, one little thing I did when I would copy something from the Foundations Guide, and again I would enlarge it, I would give it a colorful border, and then on the back I would put magnet tape. So I have my little whiteboard that's magnetic behind me on the floor, and I just throw it up on the thing. And I say, I have a picture of my friend, and I just stick it on the board. And then I give them the grammar of the parts of the tin whistle. We go over all the parts. Let's see. Then I pass out their books. Our director made these for us, and I don't know, is that a...
I think it's on CC Connected
okay,
still. Yeah.
It's on CC Connected. I pass these out, and then we do a direct draw on the first page of their friend, the tin whistle. I will move this over, and using a marker, I will draw one and show them the parts, and they will, this was my son's from last year. Let's see. We talk about pitch. Pitch is just a degree of highness or lowness of a tone. Very, very simple. This gets very interesting. I say, now before we get out your friend, tin whistle, we're going to go over a few things. And I made, this is really fancy. Are you prepared? Mrs. M's few things. Again, it has the magnet tape on the back. And if you have something, I just made a couple notes and stuck them on the back for me in case I wanted to go over anything. You can just stick stuff anywhere you want. So I put this up there, and I get very serious with them. And I say, number 1, when I am teaching, I am the conductor. This should, of course, apply to all of the class, but especially when they have tin whistles in their hand. So let's go ahead and practice me being a conductor. And I explain to them that when I hold my hands out and open, that they are making a sound. They are blowing. Then as soon as I cut it off, can you see that? As soon as I cut it off, then they are to stop immediately. Or again, they will lose their tin whistle. And so we practice that. I will open my hands and I will have them say, ah. And if they don't get it right the first time, I'll go over it again. But usually they've done really well. Then I go over positions. To me, this is absolutely critical because it's grammar, right? If I can tell them lap positions in a group of 8-year-old boys, everyone must know what I mean. So we go over sleep position, as we've already discussed, and I set that. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. That's in front of them, no touchy. Okay? Lap position. They just take it and rest it on their laps. Chin position. This nice little curve right here fits right on their chin. Play position. The whistle will actually be in their mouth, but it is a no blow zone. Okay? Do not blow, but it can be in their lips. And then of course you play. So then, let's see. I'm just referring to my notes here as I go. Bullet point 5. And then I say, now is the time. Oh, and we did this toward the end of the week. So I would say, now it's time for a happy dance. Get out your tin whistles. And we'd all jump like that a little bit and they'd stand up. And it was a lot of fun and worked out some of those wiggles. Get out your tin whistle. They're waking up. Lap position. Immediately. Put it in their lap position. And then I would have them show me the parts playing Simon Says. They enjoyed that. Then I would say, I'm going to give you a 30-second blow, and I think that comes directly from the Foundations Guide. Let's see what you can do with that. So I walk them through the positions and play, stop, lap positions, they put it down. And then we talk about what you just created was cacophony. And then I made this little, it's a silly little graphic. I mean, it was nothing. They love this thing. And we referred to it every week and they thought it was hilarious. I don't know. They're 8, they're boys. What do you say? If you can see, I just broke up the word cacophony versus symphony. I'm getting my director here. No.
Just hold. There we go.
Is that good?
Yeah.
So cacophony is a bad sound, and I put a little furrowed brow, versus symphony, a good sound, and harmony. And I said, this is very important that we learn how to make a symphony by all working together, respecting one another, playing at the same time, and it's amazing how beautiful it can be. Then, remembering these things, let's look at some music. Now, if we want to write music, which is, call coming in, which is basically writing a story that people can write. You know, if you read a classic that was written hundreds of years ago, they wrote it down and you can read it and enjoy that story. If you want to write a musical song, a musical story, hundreds of years ago, you have to write it down so that people can read it. Well, if you're going to write a story, you get paper. If you write a musical story, you have special paper. And this is recycled. I mean, you can see the stuff on the back. I just took recycled cardstock and made this. Bing, done. And I said, here is our paper to write our musical story on. Does anyone know what this is called? And then we talk about it being a staff composed of 5 lines. And again, this information is in your Foundations Guide. And then I talk about, and then we open the books to the first page. And I say, open your book to the first page, and who can find a staff there? And it's a simple little thing, and they have a ball looking for it and pointing it out to me, the first one that can show me. And I said, what else do you see on that staff? Instead of ABCs, we have these little blobs, these little circles, kind of egg-shaped, and those are called notes. And that is how we write the story that people are going to read. let's see. Oh, and then we draw some notes because on this handy dandy little book, you can see this blank staff down here. And they enjoy that. And it's, it's good for all the kinetic learners who do a better job of remembering things if they actually get to get a pencil in their hands. We take just a few seconds, a few minutes to do that. And we talk about the shapes. You can get more involved in that later if you want to. Now, this came from that brilliant lady that I don't remember her name on her thing. She talked about tape on top because we're getting ready to pick up our tin whistles. And the left hand goes on the top. And especially if you're working with other younger children, they, and they're looking at you, and so it's a mirror image. Everybody gets all confused, and the moms are running around trying to get everybody positioned right. So the first thing that we do, thank you, is we just take a piece of blue tape, have the moms do this, and we just put it on the back of their left hand. So that all you say to them is tape on top, and then they know that the tape is on the top from the left hand. So then I begin to go into form. Now, still at this point, the tin whistles are in the lap positions, and hopefully they're doing well, but do keep an eye on them. I tell them I'm going to show you the form of how to properly hold and play your tin whistle. So the points are sitting up straight so that the air can flow. You want to hold your tin whistle at a 45-degree angles. Not down like this, not straight out like this, but at a nice, gentle 45-degree angle. Again, your right hand on the bottom, left hand on the top, but your thumbs will be on the bottom of the whistle supporting it. I do talk about, I say, everybody put your hands up, show me the pads of your fingers. And they're like, huh? And I'm like, put your fingertips together. I said, this is what you don't want to do. You want to be on your pads. You feel those little squishy things, and then you can tie it in a little bit to, the biology that you've been doing in your science questions, or your experiments with fingerprints and so forth. But we talk about the little paddy part, then that is what they're going to want to put flat over the hole. Not like this, because you'll get all kinds of squeaky off pitch notes. So you need to have that nice and flat. Let's see, cover top whole finger with the pad. And so I run them through the B. Index finger of the left hand. And then I show them how to hold, and I say this forms a B. And then I blow it for them. Then, and you will want to practice that before you actually get in there because it's a little harder than it looks. And a little point or two, and they mention it in there. If you blow too loud, it will screech and really get off pitch if you blow it too hard. And I do show them how to blow on their hands in a moment, but it's something you'll want to work with a little bit at home. And then when you put the tip in your lips, you don't bite down on it, which if you get little ones or boys, they will want to do. So explain to them, do not bite on it, and no straining with their lips. And if you make funny faces like that and all that, they just think that's hilarious, and they remember it. So nice and gently and steadily for a clear, round sound. And then I show them B's, 3 B's. Now I say, now you try it. Wake up those tin whistles and go to play position, or chin position, I'm sorry. And they go to chin position. And then have them do everything that you just did. Oh, and what I do is I do open up the book and I show them the B scale, the D scale, and I did enlarge that as well with magnet tape. And I will put that over here, and I will talk about that before they play. I'm sorry, is that awkward?
That's great.
Show them the notes on the scale, show them how the finger holes and everything. And then they get to play, and this is what they've all been waiting for, and they're so excited. So you may have to remind them of the few things that you are the conductor. So take them through the things and then have them blow the bees. And then have them go back to lap or sleeping position and say, you just made a beautiful symphony in B. And if you have more time, which you probably won't have because it's amazing how fast it flies, you can go ahead and they love to show off a little bit. So let's hear your bee, Sam. James, let's hear your bee. That was beautiful. Okay, not too loud, not too loud. Nice round sound. Oh, because I will have them blow on their hands. Or real soft. You won't really hear that. Just try to create a nice round blow. That seemed to help give them a focus without blowing in their whistle yet. And then before you know it, it's time to pack up and you're on week 8. And encourage the moms to, if they don't have a tin whistle, to get one and to just have fun throughout the week playing it because it is really fun. Thank you.
Oh, wait, before we
questions?
go, I want to ask you this is Susan Seiler from behind the camera
The lady
today.
in the striped shirt. Yes.
Lady in the striped shirt. So, Sue-Ann, how much prep after you've created your, blow-ups, your visuals, but in preparing each week, how much prep are you doing? How do you balance? How do you know when to stop preparing?
That is a very good question because I tend to get, I don't know if anyone else does this, but I tend to get just as nervous as a cat. So I feel like I have to practice, go over it and over it and over it. But you do get to a point of saturation and you're just, enough. So that's why this really helps me because I break it down to a workflow and with bullet points. And part of the reason I made this big is so that I can just flip quickly and then I wing the rest. The whole thing that I talked about, the writing a story, that music is writing a story. I never planned to say that. I'm sitting there, I'm trying to communicate to them. I want to tell them a story, and it just comes out. And this kind of stuff happens, and we moms know it. Partly God giving us the inspiration, and partly how He wired us. And so get your bullet points down. Feel comfortable with the workflow. If you want to use visual aids, have them ready. But you'll be really surprised at how fast the time goes. So don't stress. Right. Good luck with that.
Are you an expert? Do you have like a great music background?
I sang in choir in high school, I don't know what now, am I up to 30 years ago? Did a little musical theater. That's it.
Wait, you didn't play the tin whistle professionally?
I have never. I think I had 3 piano lessons once when I was in 4th grade, and oddly enough, I don't know whatever happened to the piano. Maybe I was so bad they just got rid of it. I don't know. So this was the very first time that I have picked up an instrument and blown through it.
So week 7, the first week, pretty hard, right? At first, your very first.
It was, and I feel like I was just laying down the foundations of how we were going to work together, and I felt like all this information, it felt like a lot of information, and it was new to me, and then how to present it to them. Every week got a little easier and a little more fun, and to where that 45 minutes to an hour of preparation was literally 15 minutes because I just, okay, and then we'll do Simon Says, and then we'll just, and it just got easier. And I'm not a professional. It'll be okay.
You said something to me earlier about keeping things simple, and that what you did here with making the copies, I really admired that because I thought there's so many other ways. I would have retyped it. I would have literally,
I thought about it.
I would have retyped every word, but that would have taken tons of my time. Instead, you so brilliantly copied, enlarged, cut, pasted in the order that made sense for you. Do you think that helped you keep things sustainable for the 6 weeks?
Absolutely. 6 weeks. Absolutely. And even and thank you for calling it brilliant. I thought it was kind of lazy, but it works for me. This actually is this year's draft because last year I took it apart because I'm like, why did I say it like that? No, I don't want to do it. So again, this is a cut and pasted of a cut and paste. So, it makes it very flexible, very playable. And to keep it simple, this is only for me. I mean, I'm sharing it with you, but this is really only for me. I kind of gave up being a perfectionist a while ago, even though I still struggle with it at times. But it's more important. What I love about homeschooling and then working with these other children is the relationship. If you spend more time on, and our director said something that struck me in a meeting when I first came in. She said, love these children with the love of Christ. Now that's, how much more grammatical can you get? Of course, right? But when she said it, and when you start looking at these children and you do love them and you just want to share this. And then Andy Truitt at the last practicum, he said, we are lead learners. That phrase has catapulted me into a whole new level. We're sharing this experience together, and this is an important point about keeping it simple. If I work too hard on it, and if I make it my own, then it puts me in a position to not be teachable, because I don't want to let go of what I have crafted to give to you. If I keep it flexible and simple, it's flexible for everyone. If a child has something to add, last year I had a piano student who knew tons more than I did. He corrected me once. He always had something to add, and I would refer to him. And there was room for that because I hadn't made it my own agenda. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. How do you have any advice for tutors who have students who have had a lot of years of music in their class?
That can feel really intimidating. The only thing that really gives me the ledge on that is I know they're still children and I'm still a mom. So, you might know a few more things about, music theory or whatever, but I know more about life in general, so you don't have the upper hand.
That's great.
Just don't be intimidated, but, be prepared to be wrong, and that's good.
I just had a question about week 7. Mm-hmm. So it didn't sound like they were playing very much. Are they playing very much on week 7?
Not with the way I do it.
Yep. Not in the way that's in the guide either, right? Not
true.
The way that it's outlined in the guide, which
really
is what you did.
Right.
So it's okay that they're not playing very much that first week.
I think partly that sets a twofold foundation. It builds anticipation, and it also builds respect. Because, I'm not just handing this to you and then let's all just la 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 la, or first we're going to learn about this. Kind of like driving a car, right? I'm going to teach you how to drive. Am I just going to give you the keys? No, we're going to sit and we're going to talk about it for a while. And you develop a respect and an anticipation all at the same time.
That was lovely.
Oh, well, thank you.
Anything else? Can we think of any other quick questions? If you, the listener or the viewer, have any questions, you know where the comment section is down below. If you put them down in there, I promise I will make Sue Ann do another video answering all of your questions.
Well, that'd be kind of fun. Backed by popular demand.
Yes. Well, we've only done week 7. There is week 8 to come.
Yeah, and I do have some really cool visual aids that I totally got off the internet.
So speaking of visual aids, if you actually are still listening and still watching, I am going to do two things with the visual aids. I'm going to do a separate video showing you them up close, and also I will have I will post in the comments. Let's see. I will think of a way, and we'll post that in the comments on how you two can see some of these up close. And if there's, I think they're all handmade.
They are.
They're all handmade, so there's no copies needed.
Right.
But they're all handmade, other than the things that are just in the Foundations Guide, right? So
and there again, it's just keeping it simple and how well they respond to just something that's hand drawn and taped together. You'll see that later.
All right.
Have fun, and definitely in the front of the Foundations Guide, go through the objectives and really contemplate the scripture there, and just let Jesus love them through you. Have fun.
Bye.